Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to Recovery Blog with Bill MacPhee. My name is Bill MacPhee and I'm your recovery expert. Want to tell you, as many of you know, that I was hospitalized 6 different times. I lived in 3 different group homes and I had a suicide attempt. Today I'm married, I have 3 children, and I publish my own mental wellness magazines, and I'm here to help you. And I'm known as a recovery expert. And let me give you my definition of recovery. My definition of recovery not only goes for people with mental health problems, but the whole general population. And recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else other than who you are today. And we can consider that being recovery. I've been walking you through what this is, my 6 pillars of mental wellness, 6 pillars of recovery. And what we've been doing is that we've been talking about illnesses first, understanding your illness, and we did a series on the illness, and we're wrapping up that series on understanding your illnesses with stress. We're leaving off with stress, and then next week we're going to talk about the Bright Future program and going into the first pillar of recovery, which is spirituality. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about stress. Stress is basically an accumulation of problems. And the more problems we have, the more stress we have. However, one of the important things to remember about stress is that we don't recognize it all the time. For example, you might have heard of about the frog in the boiling water. Well, you know what? If you put in a frog, say you have a pot with boiling water, and you throw a frog in there, well, that frog is going to jump out because it knows that it's hot. However, if you started off with cold water and put the frog in there and turn the burner on, that water would gradually get hotter and hotter and hotter, and the frog wouldn't realize that it was getting hotter and hotter, and it wouldn't jump out. It would end up boiled and die and killed. So that's a lot like stress. Stress, we know that's building up, but we don't recognize it. It's like that frog in the hot water going gradual, gradual, gradual until it's too late and it's destroying your life. Now, the solution to stress is basically solving problems, and we have to becoming like problem solvers in our life. And the problems we have in life, basically the 6 pillars cover that. So the stressors in life that we could have spiritual crisis, we could have relationship crises, we could have family crises, we can have mental health and physical health crises, which lead to stress, and we also could have stress in our career or our volunteer work or our job or going to school or whatever our vocation is, our career. We could have stress there. And then the last pillar is financial, and we can also have a lot of stress in our financial situation. So those are all the areas that we could have stress in. And let me just I'll tell you about this as well, is that having too little stress or not having enough to do is stressful in itself. I can remember I was on the couch for 5 years, basically doing nothing all day. My schedule was very scattered throughout the week. I might be going to group therapy or to different social things, but really my life on the couch was basically doing nothing. And that was very stressful in the beginning. So that's a wrap up. So basically, remember, we need to become solving problem people, and I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to help you that through the Bright Future program and through the upcoming episodes. So next week we're going to jump into the spirituality, and we're going to talk a little bit about that first pillar. So hopefully you have a good day, and remember that recovery, the definition of recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else other than who you are today. And that's very important. And you gotta also remember there is life after mental illness. Have a great day.